Hi, and welcome to another edition of Focus St. Charles County. I'm Scott Drochnik. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about roads, homes, and community development in St. Charles County. And to start things off, we're going to turn our attention to the County Assessor's office. We've all probably seen those things that come in the mail from the assessor every year to find out what kind of car we own or which house we're still in. But we want to find out more about the department and specifically how they come up with fair market value when it comes to personal property, real estate, commercial, that sort of thing. Here to tell us all about it is the County Assessor himself, Scott Shipman.
St. Charles County Assessor's Office is charged with placing the fair market value on all real and personal property situated within St. Charles County. The value placed on each piece of property is actually pretty extensive from the standpoint that we collect a lot of information about the property. One of our field people are out to measure the home, so we gather the information, square footage, the age, the amenities within the homes, rooms, bedrooms, bathrooms, fireplaces, basement finishes, the size of the lot, the condition of the home, and the class of the home. And that information is fed back into our computer-assisted mass appraisal system for value. Some of the divisions within our office, we have obviously our real estate division, and we gather all new construction annually. Naturally on the reassessment years, which is the odd numbered years, we reassess every piece of property. So that constitutes our real property section. Personal property values all personal property in St. Charles County. That is an annual process. So every year about 170,000 forms are received back to our office, entered, updated for current information such as mileage and those types of things. We also have our GIS mapping section, which essentially plans or accepts the plats of all the subdivisions, does all the subdivides, and keeps track of all the ownership transfers. If anybody has questions concerning real property or personal property or ownership information, you can visit us on the web at www.sccmo.org or call us at 636-949-7425.
Scott, thank you so much for that information and all the great work that you're doing in the Assessor's Office. Well, now we're going to turn our attention to the Community Development Department. This department has 4 divisions, and they're not only responsible for permitting, but also zoning, land use, and construction. Here to tell us all about it is Wayne Anthony, Director of the Community Development Department. He's going to help us know when we might need a permit, as well as the duties of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Community development in St. Charles County consists of 4 divisions. Planning and zoning, development review, neighborhood preservation, and building code enforcement. All of those divisions have a function in the development processes that go on within St. Charles County. Important codes that citizens within unincorporated county need to be aware of is the garbage cans. Garbage cans are required to be out of the front yard, so they can be inside a garage, inside a storage shed, or along the side of the house, but not in front of the house. They need to be aware of weed and litter issues as it relates to their property. Grass can't be over 10 inches tall, so they need to keep it maintained and mowed. And as far as a lot of other violations that we typically see regarding the storage of boats or trailers, those are not permitted within the front of the house. They have to be either along the side or in a rear yard or inside a garage. And so those are the typical types of issues that we start seeing in the springtime. The types of permits that people need within the county relate to usually construction. They also relate to some use types of things that require a zoning permit or a land use development permit or a floodplain development permit. But I will concentrate on what you need from as it relates to construction from a building standpoint. Anything that is dealing with the repair or creating a new structure requires a building permit. Likewise, electrical work, mechanical work, plumbing work needs a building permit. The erection of fences need a permit. The construction of above and in-ground pools require a permit. Some of the things that don't require a permit relate to the re-roofing of the house, or re-siding of the house, replacement of windows of the exact same size, repairing drywall and other remodeling types of improvements like that don't involve running new electrical or plumbing types of lines. The replacement of faucets and receptacles don't require the permit either. Applications for permits, for any type of permit that you need through the Community Development Department as it relates to building or zoning, are available on the county's website that you can download and fill out and submit. Hopefully, by the end of 2014, we will have new software implemented in which people will be able to actually complete a form, an application on their website and submit it electronically. One of the commissions that we have that is a fairly busy commission is the Planning and Zoning Commission. This commission is made up of 10 appointed citizens and one representative from the county council. This group conducts public hearings on applications for rezoning of property, conditional uses. They also review new plats for subdivisions and basically conduct the public hearings for those events. Once those public hearings are completed, this commission ends up formulating a recommendation that is forwarded to the City Council, and the City Council takes that into consideration when they decide to approve or deny an application. If citizens in unincorporated county have any questions regarding permitting activity or what kind of application they need to submit for a particular use that they want to make of their property, they can call the department's divisions for planning and zoning matters. They would need to call 636-949-7335, or for building permitting types of activity and inspections, they can call 636-949-7345. They can also get a lot of information off of the county's website at sd.sccmo.org.
Wayne, thank you so much for that information. Folks, don't go away. We're going to take a short little break, but when we come back, we'll be talking about roads in St. Charles County.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. Body language. Without saying a word, it can tell you so much. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Focus St. Charles County. Today we're talking about roads, homes, and community development. Up next is the County Highway Department. These folks have a lot of stuff to do, taking care of 780 miles in St. Charles County, both improvements as well as maintenance. Here to tell us all about it is Craig Tukowski, the county engineer.
The St. Charles County Highway Department is responsible for about 780 miles of roadways in St. Charles County. As part of that, we're responsible for the maintenance of the roadways, improvements to the roadways, and that maintenance includes everything from pothole patching to snow removal to signage, striping, traffic signals. The improvements may involve anything from a simple asphalt overlay to as much as additional lanes being added, sidewalks being added, curb and gutter being added, those kind of improvements. If a person sees something regarding one of the county roadways, there's one of two ways to contact us. They can go to the county's website and there's a place there to file a report, or they can call our office. We currently have two projects that we're wrapping up work on this year. That's improvements to Calks Hill Road and also Elman Road. And then later this year we'll be starting improvements, construction of a new road that will connect Quail Ridge Parkway over to Route Z in the Wentzville area. We also have some projects coming up, upgrading some of the traffic signals and adding a new traffic signal on Central School Road. One thing we would ask when people do encounter road construction is that they slow down, pay attention to the signs, and stay alert, because you never know, there's going to be equipment moving around, there's going to be workers close to the roadway, and it's a dangerous situation for everyone involved. For those of you that might have questions about work going on one of the county roadways, you can simply go to the county website for information, or you can call our office.
Craig, thank you so much for that information, and we appreciate everything the County Highway Department is doing. Well, folks, now we're going to talk with the area engineer for the Missouri Department of Transportation. That's Tom Evers, and he's going to give us an update on the Highway 364 construction, Phase 3, which will be completed at the end of this year, as well as other state highway and roadway improvements in the community.
This past year, we've been working on and completing a lot of projects in St. Charles County. The Blanchette Bridge project on I-70 was probably our largest project that's been completed this year, or this past year. It was a $63 million project that replaced the span over the Missouri River, the westbound span over the Missouri River. It replaced about 75% of the structure, and we did it at a fraction of the price of replacing the entire thing. So it was a great value for us because we got it done at a cheaper cost than replacing the entire project, and it was we did it very quickly as far as closing traffic and moving it all over to the eastbound bridge. So the eastbound bridge carried 3 lanes of traffic in each direction. It worked out very well. We had great public communication and just getting the word out to people. Really, put them at ease at least as much as possible, and it was a great project in the aspect that we got it done fast and really was very well received, and we didn't have any major traffic backups through construction. The Mid-Rivers Mall at I-70 was also just completed recently. We converted the interchange into a diverging diamond interchange, which is similar to what we have at I-270 and Dorset Road in Maryland Heights, where as traffic leaves the highway or gets off the highway and comes on the mid-rivers, you're actually driving on the other side of the road for a little bit, and then you cross back over to the right side of the road. From different, whether you're coming from the north or south, it does a weave at the bridge. And that helps traffic flow through the interchange better, so that people that are coming onto or off of the highway, typically are just going through one signal, whereas like in previous configuration, you'd be going through two signals. So it just moves traffic more efficiently through the interchange, and we've seen it work very well at 270 in Dorset, and right now at 70 in Mid-Rivers, things are going pretty well. So the Page project is an ongoing design-build project, and that was a project that we partnered with both St. Charles County and the local municipalities in St. Charles, and it is a great cost share project where we've basically split the cost of the project about 50-50, and it was and that project started middle of last year, and it's been working all through 2013. We worked on getting a lot of earthwork completed and some of the bridge work completed. This year they're going to be focusing on finishing up the bridge work, finishing up some of the grading and excavation and earth moving, but really the primary focus is going to be pouring a lot of concrete, getting all that pavement in, so that's going to all happen this year. We're going to open the project in phases, but ultimately the entire project will be open by October 31st of this year, which will be a great benefit to commuters and residents, because it's kind of that east-west connector that's in between 64 and I-70, so it'll kind of help to relieve some of those routes, so people who do use 70 and 64 will probably see a little bit of a relief from this corridor, and again, it provides a great direct connection that will take you all the way from the Westport area in St. Louis County all the way out to Lake St. Louis with unimpeded freeway system where you don't encounter any signals or anything like that. It'll just be a free-flowing connection. The other big ongoing project is the I-64 Daniel Boone Bridge replacement. So that is a complete replacement over the Missouri River. That project also that started at the beginning of 2013. That's about a 2.5-3 year project that we're well within right now. That also is another project where we're replacing a major bridge. This one will not have the same kind of traffic impacts as the Blanchette Bridge did last year, but it will be replacing the bridge, and we'll be opening the new bridge later this year. So I believe mid-November is the scheduled opening of that new bridge, and then when they open traffic to the new bridge, they'll be working on the 1980s bridge, which is currently the eastbound bridge. It will be converted to the westbound bridge when the project is complete. So the brand new bridge will be the new eastbound structure, and then we'll be demolishing the very old 1930s bridge. But it'll be great because it will have 4 lanes in each direction. Right now, with our funding situation, we don't have any, I'll say, like big, heavy-hitting projects, as I've talked about already. Our funding situation is such that we're not adding a lot of infrastructure. We're basically maintaining what we have right now. We have to take the resources that we do have from our gas tax and vehicle sales tax revenues, and we have to try to stretch that dollar as far as we can now, and it's getting increasingly tougher with prices. Obviously prices of everything goes up, but our revenues as far as gas tax goes is kind of holding steady or declining a little bit because cars are more fuel efficient. We're just not getting as much money, and then we also the National Highway Trust Fund is also hitting a revenue crisis as well. So nationwide, all states are feeling the same type of crunch, and I think a lot of states, including our own, is going to be focusing a lot on maintenance-only type projects, which are just simple resurfacing or bridge rehab projects. And if anyone has any questions or wants to learn more about the projects that we have completed or that are ongoing or might be even coming up, please visit our website at www.modot.org.
Tom, thank you so much for that great information, and we are looking forward to the Page extension opening up later this year. Well, folks, don't go away. We're going to take a quick little break, but when Focus comes back, we're going to talk about a new, exciting effort in the community.
It's harder whenever there's a bigger group. Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing.
I'm so proud of you, son.
Then, we went on Thunder Shark 3 times.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year, I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money.
Welcome back to Focus St. Charles County. I'm Scott Drochnik, and today we're continuing to talk about roads, homes, and community development. Up next is an exciting new program called Gateway Greenlight. It's a cooperative effort between St. Charles County, local municipalities, and the Missouri Department of Transportation. The goal, to better manage signalization timing in the community to help with traffic flow. Here to tell us all about it is John Greifsue, Director of Transportation for the county.
Gateway Greenlight is an exciting new program in St. Charles County designed to keep traffic flowing. It's a partnership between St. Charles County and the municipalities within St. Charles County and the Missouri Department of Transportation. Collectively, these jurisdictions own and operate 337 traffic signals in St. Charles County. This program will install fiber optic cable, cellular modems, to help these signals communicate to each other, which will allow the jurisdictions within St. Charles County to better manage these signals. They'll help turn that red light into a green light. The purpose of the Gateway Green Light program is to keep traffic flowing. This will help reduce air emissions and help get our residents from point A to B more efficiently. The project started last year through the county applying for federal funds through a program called Congestion Mitigation Air Quality. The county received these funds last year, and construction started with replacing some of the signal infrastructure, installing some fiber optic cable, installing cellular modems. The program will continue through a construction phase in 2014 and hopefully will be fully operational in the latter part of this year, 2014. Through the installation of the fiber optic cable and cellular modems, this will allow personnel at a transportation management center to communicate to that signal. And therefore, if there's an accident or congestion on one of our major arterials, this will allow that operator to be able to determine if the signal is functioning properly, and if there's a lot of backup, if there's cars stacked up and backing up to the signal, they'll be able to provide more green time or be able to turn that red light into a green light to get traffic flowing again in St. Charles County. This will be done at MoDOT's, Missouri Department of Transportation's Traffic Management Center in Chesterfield, Missouri. And that is where we are today. We are at Missouri Department of Transportation's Traffic Management Center in Chesterfield, Missouri. The signals in St. Charles County via fiber optic and cellular communications are being routed back. That data is being routed back to this center, and there will be an operator starting in 2014 that will monitor these signals at this center. And behind me, you can see the monitors of the operators that are monitoring traffic in the St. Louis region, and actually this morning rush hour throughout the region. If you'd like to learn more about the Gateway Green Light program, visit the county's website at www.sccmo.org and go underneath the transportation page, and there's a link to the Gateway Green Light program.
John, thank you so much for that great information. And folks, as we talk about roads in St. Charles County, we definitely have to talk about the County Road Board. This is a group of citizens who take the time to evaluate and recommend necessary road improvements throughout the entire community. Here to tell us all about it is the Road Board Chairman, Matt Johannesman, who's going to tell us about what they do as well as the Transportation Improvement Program, or TIP.
St. Charles County Road Board is a group of citizens who evaluate and recommend different road projects and bridge projects throughout the county that are funded by the half-cent transportation sales tax. The Transportation Improvement Plan, and also called the TIP, is a 3-year plan that basically outlines all of our projects over the next 3 years that we funded with the transportation tax. Well, the real importance of the road board and the tax is to basically leverage dollars with the municipalities, with the federal dollars, to get as much road completed as we can. So basically it's a partnership between all the municipalities and the federal government to basically leverage dollars to complete as many roads as we possibly can. Basically, at every road board meeting, we hear from municipalities to get updates on the projects we have ongoing. In addition to annually, we basically look at the new projects they've got for the 3-year out funding. And they basically present those to us. We kind of grade them and then make our decision and our recommendation to the county council on which ones we would like to see approved. Well, obviously one of the biggest and most exciting things that we anticipate coming up this year is the opening of Phase 3 of Page. But there are various projects throughout the county that we're working on from one end to the other. Basically, some of the interactive components of the website that you can find out on the Road Board site are updates on different phases of Page Avenue and other construction projects going on in the area. If you were looking to contact somebody for information on the Road Board, you could talk to John Greifsue at the county or any of the Road Board members.
Matt, thank you so much. Appreciate all the information, and we thank you and the County Road Board for everything you guys have been doing. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for this particular episode of Focus. Hopefully you've learned a lot when it comes to homes, transportation, and community development in St. Charles County. Well, join us next time for another edition of Focus. Until then, I'm Scott Drochnik. See you again soon.